Hello everyone. Today I kind of stumbled across this article, and this article is named The Intelligence Curse. It is by Luke Drago and Rudolph Lane. In the description I will put the link to this website. I recommend any of you who like to read online articles or who is kind of worried about well, not worried, just wants to know more about AI and how it's affecting us. I recommend you reading this. Anyways, it talks about how AI affects the white collar industry, the structure of junior developers, software engineers. It basically talks about how eventually AI, if we don't put anything in the way, if we keep feeding into AI and letting it grow, it will come for every industry. Obviously, it will. Some of you will see that it will come for majority of the industries, but some of you will be like, well, the trades, blue collar work. Yes, for a while, it won't affect it. Probably for another good 10, 15, 20 years, maybe. Still enough for a good career, I would say. But, well, more people are going into engineering and going into robotics, right? And in robotics, you have robots, and robots with AI can be a very interesting thing. There's in cities, right? In like Miami and like New York, there's little robots that roam around and deliver food to you, right? And there's self-driving cars. There's a lot of robotic stuff in our day-to-day life. Even machining, even like CNC machining, that's a robot. Even on any factory work or anything like that, right? So, reason why I bring this up is because I got to thinking. At the end of this, um, I guess, article, it says history is yours to write. And again, I will link this intelligence-curse.ai website in the description. I will cite all my sources, and this is my only source. I highly recommend you go read it if you have the time. Now, if you're not into reading like me, just skim over it. That's why I did. I feel like even me, I need to start reading more, and I feel like a lot of people need to start reading more. It's kind of a dying form in a sense, right? Anyways, different topic for a different video. Anyways, it says on this last slide or last page, it says history is yours to write. And the summary is you have a roadmap. After reading this, you have a roadmap to break the intelligence curse. What will you do with it, right? Now, at the end, very end, it says, instead of turning to others for answers, take action for yourself. And then it goes on to talk about if you're in a government, you should try to do this. If you're in a think tank, you should do this. If you're in an AI lab, you should do this. If you're in a VC fund or in a VC, you should try to do this. But what really gets kind of sticks out to me is talks about young people like me, right? I'm young. It talks about if you're young, this is it word for word. If you're young, get ambitious. The traditional prestige paths are closing anyways. Try to start companies trying to design tech that will keep humans economically relevant and spread abundance. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, we might have a universal basic income. That means everyone gets an income, and that could mean no one could work, right? No one could work, and that's kind of the goal of everyone, right? But, when you don't work toward a goal or something, right? Or not having a career or not having a hobby, you will eventually get bored. And in that boredom, you will want to do something or go to work or try something new. So, in a sense, we can't have no work, right? Humans will kind of always have to be somewhat economic. If you're thinking from a money perspective, humans will always have some type of economical value attached to them. Now, if AI does explode like it is, maybe very small. But I've got to thinking, and what AI can't 100% replace is psychology. Now, psychology is some of you may know it as the scientific study of the mind and behavior of humans, right? Like emotions, thoughts, and motivations. Getting this from the Google definition. Now, AI can't replace this. That's a good thing, because content creation platforms like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, anything like sports, right? AI is going to have a very tough time replacing this. And another thing is the creativity. Yes, AI can be very creative, right? But that's because someone gave AI the idea. Have you ever seen an AI come up with his own original thought, like 100% original, and not no prompt given by human, none of that. 100% original. I haven't seen a story on it. Now maybe there has been one, right? But maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I say this: go into a creative art form. Go into something that you can be creative in. Now, some of you say, well, I don't want to go to college for art. Don't go to college for art. That's what I'm not telling you. Go to college for anything. You know, engineering, any math related field is still a very good thing, because at the end of the day, every field of study is an art. Now, I'm not talking about painting art. I'm talking about a creative art, using your mind to create something new. Like engineering, for example. You can use the study of engineering to create a bunch of things like robots if we're going down the AI path. So, psychology. Humans can't replace, or not humans, AI can't replace the psychology habits of humans, right? Because let's just say, because AI can't know what you're thinking. It can predict what you're going to do. It can predict actions, right? And that's what humans have been doing. That's what they use the study of psychology for, is to predict human reaction. But they don't get it right 100% of the time. So why would AI? I think AI will definitely play a big role, because it's already taken a good majority of people's jobs. But the reason why it's doing it is because of competition, right? Because when a company sees another company replacing their workers with cheap AI, well, then they're going to do that, right? Now, soon enough, then every company is not going to have no AI, or is going to have all AI, right? And it's going to be profitable, but then people are going to start to realize that, man, everything is kind of ran by AI, and none of it's not original. It's not human made. If you think about it, on TikTok or Instagram, there's been a resurgence, or a resurge, I should say, of like hand making tools, hand making this, cooking food, living a minimalistic lifestyle, right? Kind of reverting back to like the early 1800s, 1900s, right? That simple lifestyle of just cooking, going outside, enjoying nature, writing, right? This is kind of the path I feel like we're down, going down, is because if AI takes over, as these people are predicting, we're going to go down the field, or a path of kind of like the Renaissance, in a sense. I know I've said this before, but a kind of a renaissance of new ideas. And maybe those ideas might take us into space, Maybe we might find a new material, a new element to help us further, right? I feel like AI could be another expression of art if used properly. Now, obviously, we're not perfect, and there's going to be competition, right? I feel like AI will expand our art creativeness in a sense, but people will start to realize that the originality of it is kind of meh, right? Because if for me, if I see a painting done by AI, I'd be like, oh, ones and zeros built that. But if I see a painting by a painter, I'm gonna be like, oh, that's cool. Someone spent the time investing that they spent time. It's the key currency, time. That's what makes things valuable is the time spent and put into something, right? That is the ultimate currency. So make sure you use your time wisely because it's pretty true. Do something you enjoy. Go into a field of hobby. Go into a field that's your hobby, right? They say not to work the job or not to work your hobby as a job. Well, for some hobbies, maybe, so you don't get burnt out, but if you have a passion for something, do it just to see what happens, right? Because at the end of the day, you'll always figure out how to survive the next, right? I mean, we didn't get to this level of humanity by just not taking risks and not doing our hobbies. We got here by taking risks. So, that article was kind of right. The direction of civilization is not fixed. History's is yours to write. Get to work. That's what it says at the end. That's the very last sentence. It's not that far off. It's kind of right in a sense. But that's for you to interpret, and that's for, your own history is yours to write. So, as it says, go out there and write your own history. Alright. I've been yapping about nothing for 12 minutes. I'm gonna go to bed. So, good evening, good afternoon, and good night to anyone out there. I hope this video finds you well. Sorry if it's kind of all over the place. Kind of still forming this idea. I might revisit it. We'll see. Anyways, I hope every single one of you can find peace in your lifetime.